to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light. Yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Blast. John Ryder joins me via Zoom. Good to see you, mate. How are you?
Good to see you, mate. I've not seen you in person in quite a while, but become quite the Zoom buddy. So yeah, it's nice to see you again, mate.
We've done a couple over Zoom, haven't we? We used to do a bit more in person. I've lost you. Is he going to come back?
Sorry,
I hope so.
I'm back.
He has come back. Sorry, I thought you ditched me for one of the other channels then.
No, not at all, mate.
I know you've just come back from training, John. So yeah, we know exactly what you're training for. But yeah, how was training today, and how's it been over the last couple of weeks?
Been good, mate. It's obviously we had the news a couple of weeks ago, and it was I suppose a hard time for the gym. What with Joe Cordina being stripped of his world title, where we all had that great night in Cardiff. So that was a gutter. Then obviously the thing on fight week with Conor and Chris. So that was a bit of a spanner in the works, and it's not. I suppose it's not great for the gym. Do you know what I mean? We're a tight knit community, and I feel like if one loses, we all lose, and feels like we took a couple of losses that week. But so I know they'll be back stronger than ever, and they've both got the mental capacity to put that behind them and come back and be better than they was before. So I'm sure we'll see Joe Cordina with another world title around his waist, and we'll see Conor Benn back in the ring and winning ways, and yeah, we can all get back to normal.
Yeah, I don't want to go into any detail about anything really outside of your fight, because that's what I'm here to speak to you about today. But in terms of the atmosphere, you are right. Every time I've been there, and any media will know this, the gym when you go in is so lively, so bouncing. Is it going to be a difficult camp in that sense? Look, motivation-wise, obviously not, because it's a big fight. But will it be a bit difficult for the next couple of weeks, you think, for yourself?
No, I don't think so. I think we're all professional enough to know that there's a job to do, and we need to get that mood back. And listen, we was on the track this morning in the rain and we're having a laugh, so it's back there. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, in the instance straight after, it was a down time. Do you know what I mean? It was everyone felt it, and like no one believed it. We all stand by Conor and whatnot. But I think first of all, just seeing Joe get stripped, it was a gutter. Do you know what I mean? We was all there cheering him on in April, was it? And yeah, just to see it. I mean, I was there the day that he busted his hand as well, and see that firsthand. So it's just a real shame. Do you know what I mean? But like we said, we're all professionals. We'll all learn from this, and we'll all carry on and continue and keep winning.
Well, like I said, we know what you're training for. I want to kind of timeline how we got here with you and Zach Parker, because I looked earlier when we last spoke on Zoom, and it was late July. You were talking about potential fights, and you didn't say it on the interview, but we was messaging each other, and it was Munguia that was the likely one. Then that sort of came out. If you can, John, just kind of tell me about the time between then and now, and how we ended up with the Zach Parker fight, and kind of all the little intricacies that came in the middle.
Yeah, well, we was looking at the Munguia fight for, I think it was for October 29th originally. Then that went really quiet. But I think they'd come on about Parker before, like, during that time. But we were obviously talking to Munguia, so it wasn't really an avenue we was going to go down. Then it went quiet with Zach and went quiet with Munguia, and then Berlanga started talking, and Munguia come back on, and then Zach Parker, Frank one come back on about Zach Parker. So it was we had three irons in the fire then, and it was they slowly faded away. Obviously Berlanga was I think he's banned till December 11th, so that was a no-go. And then it was a tools race, and I think Munguia is still in contract dispute, so it was one then where we just wanted to get something tied down, and it was a great opportunity. And I feel with sorry mate, I lost you again. with Zach Parker and the interim belt, you win this title, and I mean there's still these big fights there for the likes of Munguia and other people. So important, first things first, to go in there, have a great fight with Zach Parker, and come back with a title, and go on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, obviously, I know you won't be focusing on kind of the way Zach Parker's career is going, but if you look at it from an outside perspective for the both of you, is it one of them where you can just kind of look and go, yeah, this makes sense? Because he had the whole thing with Andrade, which went wrong. You've had the thing with Munguia that it kind of didn't work out. It just makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, we've both been messed about a bit, what with Andrade and Munguia, and yeah, I think it makes sense. I mean, we're both from Britain, and just to get it on, and I mean, it's a strange one that I'm the away fighter in London, fighting a man from Derby. So listen, it's obviously on a rival promoter's show, but listen, it's a great opportunity, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think Zach Parker's not put a foot wrong yet in his career, and obviously I've had my little blips in the past, but the timing's right for me now. It's about putting all the things right, righting all the wrongs, over the years, and leaving it all out there.
What was Eddie's response? Because obviously we know he has put, he's financially backed you in terms of the Danny Jacobs fight, delivering that in your hometown in North London. What was kind of Eddie's response to this whole thing? Did he just say, go for it?
Yeah, I think he was eager for the Munguia fight, obviously keeping it on DAZN and whatnot. But once that fell through and wasn't looking too promising, I think he was eager. Do you know what I mean? He was eager for me to get out and keep busy and keep winning and doing well. So I mean, listen, it's a short term commitment to fight on another show, but win this title and I can bring some good fights back to DAZN.
One thing that I thought was brilliant was when we were texting about the Munguia fight, I said, you know, if you fought him, it'd come to win, he'll come out, there'll be openings and it'll be an exciting fight. And you said to me, you can't run headfirst into a gorilla, right? Which I thought was brilliant. We know you always bring the heat. You leave nothing to be desired every time, despite the fact you're looking at someone who's very different in Zach Parker. Is it always going to be the same with you? Excitement, aggression, front foot? Is that always going to be the John Ryder we see, you think?
Well, I hope so. I mean, I'm more than just a front foot brawler. I will box at times, but listen, it's all about, depends on the opponent. And we've seen Zach. He comes forward and he's head on there. So listen, for the fans, they'll be in for a treat. So yeah, don't blink.
And the WBO interim. I saw that in an article it said almost 3 years to the day, I think, for that fight in Liverpool. I know nothing's going to change that night, and you said a minute ago that you kind of want to right some wrongs, but would this go a long way to rubbing that out? Because I can imagine you're kind of you're sick of speaking about it now, because it's going to be something that comes up, but would this go a long way to sort of rubbing that out, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, it's not anyone's fault. It's just no one was expecting to have a two-year break with COVID and whatnot. So no one's really kicked on with their career like they wanted to since that time, and been a slow time for everyone. But yeah, I mean, for me to have the 2 years during COVID where I had one fight per year, and then to get into 2022 and a good win against Daniel Jacobs in February, and to end the year on a high, beating Zach Parker will be a great year, and somewhere on the way to redemption and getting what I deserve.
We all know what the interim belt comes with. Obviously, the full champion is Canelo Alvarez. We've been here before with that whole Canelo talk. Obviously, if he feels like he has business elsewhere, you can get upgraded to full champ. I know you're not going to look past it. You need to win the belt first. But yeah, we're kind of back here again where the Canelo fight's closer than it was a few months ago.
Yeah, it always seems close and then it seems so far. But yeah, I don't know what he's doing. There's rumours that he won't be back till September next year, having an operation or whatnot. So I've got to worry about the business of me fighting Parker, and not to worry about the business of Canelo Alvarez, and just let me focus on myself and crack on there, and then get this title, get it around my waist on the 26th, and then 2023 we'll look to build on even bigger and better things.
It's still there. It's still there. John, just before I let you go, I've got to ask you about Tyson Fury and Derek Chisora, and just kind of your opinion on whether that's a fight you're interested in. Been slammed a little bit from those inside the boxing community. Very rare you get a trilogy when one fight is 2-0 up. All right, we're 8 years down the line. Just kind of your take on that fight.
I mean, I don't know. Is it a retirement fight for Derek? Is he just topping out the bank account for his retirement? I mean, he was very fortunate to get a decision against Pulev in his last fight, I feel, and yeah, it probably didn't do him many favours in winning that fight, where he's now gone on and he's got a fight like Tyson Fury. Do you know what I mean? Nothing, not to take anything away from Derek. I mean, he's been a great servant to the sport, and he's had his highs and his lows and his ups and his downs of it, but he's always brought entertainment. So I'm sure he'll do the same again on the 3rd of December. And I mean, what a night in his hometown, Tottenham Stadium, in front of however many thousands, and going up against the Gypsy King. I mean, I'm sure they were friends at one point and probably still are to an extent, but so why not let them dance again?
I'm gonna share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light. Yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something. Completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.